I made a few changes on my brake system I think about a month ago, and something went wrong, and I was doing some brake maintenance, and I was painting the rotors, and I stripped one of these. I was following the torque sequence procedures from one of the instructions guide that they sent me, and I just thought that this thing is just not designed right from the get-go. Well, in the beginning, I don't know if you guys watched one of my vlog that I told you that I made a bracket for it because I didn't like about this thing when they first came out, and I just thought I had mentioned that I didn't like the way it's crisscrossing right here, and there's not enough material, there's not enough thread that's holding it, and it proved to be I was right, and it was a good idea at the time when I made those. Well, the reason being why I got one of these, it's because of I wanted to in the future I wanted to make an upgrade on my rotors. I wanted to use two-piece rotors, and I'm still looking for. I'm hunting down the hat that I needed, and also the rotors. I thought I got it narrowed down when I saw they're selling one for Corolla. Fast Brakes is selling one for Corolla, but I still haven't get the specs for the hat. So what I did was I went and got this one. Because of this, using this, I can use from 12 up to 13 inch. You just need to add some washers here, and you gotta change the bolts, accordingly, because otherwise the more washers you added or spacer you added on this, you're less likely, there's not enough thread for the bolts holding it, so you have to change the bolts. You have to use a long ones, which is that's what I did. Anyway, but yeah, I stripped it or pulled the thread off. Lucky for me, I wasn't driving or anything, and you know what can happen to you, when you lost the brakes or something, if one of these pulled up or both of them pulled off, and this one will be just tear up the fender, everything will tear up, anything that's rotating in this area, or I could get hurt or possibly hurt someone. But as you can see, let me see if I could point out to you what's wrong with this thing. Some people probably don't have any problem with this, but I don't know. Somehow I got the defective one. But you see how the holes right from my razor blades? So if I put it on this side, right there. See how it lined up when you go down to this flange right here? Right there. It aligned itself. So, and look here, this is where it is. It's got a hole in it, so there's nothing holding here. So the only thread we have is just in this section, this right here, about 1/4 of an inch, and this is aluminum. It would have been okay if it's made out of steel. So I think it's just not, it should have been designed right, or their torque, the amount of torque that they put on their guidelines is just too much for aluminum, and I was just following whatever they have on there. But to make the story short, I know this is no good. I ended up I made me a bracket for the second time, but let me show you. But to give you an idea on the cross section that I was telling you, from where this thing is right here by my finger, It almost lined up to that flange right here. See those two bolts? This is the caliper, and that's the bracket that I made. See those two bolts? That's just how much material you got on next to the knuckle. And I'm going to remove it so I can show you the bracket that I made. This is more like a prototype. I can still, this is I can always change this. But once I showed you, you probably would have an idea. Oh, I should have done this. You should have do it this way. And let me I'm gonna show you and explain to you why I did it this way. Let me see. Let me remove this, the rotor. Yeah, I really wanted to use a two-piece rotors on this. That will. This is quite heavy. It's like 17. I think 17 pounds. Who knows? Probably like 20 pounds or 23 pounds. Okay, here it is. All right. The reason how I made it this way is I'm gonna put another steel here, a flange, more like a spacer or a bushing or something that will. I'm gonna weld it shut, and by the time I get done with it, you probably would not even notice anything. I should have it turned around, right? I mean, some people that will say. People say I should have it this way. Well, the problem is, you saw how the bolt, the way, in order for this thing to sit right here. Yeah, this bolt has to be sitting right so. And it's almost barely touching this flange right here. And this chamfer, I mean this cutaway right here, if you drill a hole right there, you would not, there's probably like 1/32 of material on there. You just punch right through. And so if I put it this way, let me see if I can get the camera. It was good. I thought about doing it like this. That all I have to do is fill this with a weld. Just create another material about a quarter of an inch, or maybe like 1/8 of an inch, right here. But I thought about if I would have put this closer to this edge right here, like so, I think the material, the weld material that I'm gonna put on is just, there's not enough strength on it. So that's why what I did was, let me just turn it the other way around. Or I should have gotten a different bracket. I should have gotten a like a T bracket, a T steel, or a T-beam, and then that would have been better. I just cut it through and it would have enough strength. And who knows, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should go back to the scrap metal store and see if I could find an I-beam, something with a thicker material. It would have been better. But since I already got this, so if I put it this way, I'll just put another material right here. And even though I only have a 1/4 of an inch thickness on this, this is made out of steel, and it can hold some pack with strength. I mean, you can do multiple service on your brakes and you hardly gonna pull that thread off from there, unlike this one. It's aluminum. Okay, being said, why I did it this way, it's because of when I changed my rotors to a 2-piece rotors, I don't know where the caliper would sit as far as like having it centered. So by doing this, I could either add some washers or remove some washers, just bringing it in and out, in and out. That's why I made it this way. So it's multi-purpose. This one here is all fixed. I can only use 13-inch rotors. I can never go down. I could go up, but I have to change my my rims as wheel setup to 18-inch. But bigger than 13 inches is a little bit overkill. So who knows? I'll probably change this design maybe later on. But all I needed to do is add some washers, or I'm gonna cut a piece of material and put it on there and weld it through, weld it shut. And I'm gonna add some more. Once I weld it shut, once I fill this thing with the material with steel, and I'm just gonna drill it through and then add some more threads on them. Yep, that's the idea. And I have another, I bought another one like this, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see if we could open this bad boy. Yeah, I'm totally disappointed on this one here. You could guess where I got it. And that's why I ordered another one. And see if this is any better. And this thing comes with the centric rings. This same length. See the difference between these two? This one's got a little bit of meat on there, the thickness, compared to this one. This one is just see if I put it side by side, aligned with the flange, like so. You guys can see it, but yeah. Yeah, this one's got a little bit of a meat on there. And also the depthness of the thread. See? It's the same. Alright, there you go. And I'm gonna put this on and see if my caliper will center the rotors and see what happens. Okay. So for anyone that buying one of these, just be careful when you torque this. Don't do like what I did. And I'm doing multiple servicing on the brakes, and I just pulled the thread off from it. And by the way, the torque procedures is different in between these two. This one is paying attention to being the material being aluminum. It's much less than this one. This is like about, I think they want 60 or 70. I didn't even torque that much because I know how to work on aluminum. So I would follow this one. This one is only 40 foot-pounds, and this is over 60. So for the people that wanted to buy one of these, just be very careful. That's all. Okay? And well, that's it for this blog, and hope you guys enjoy this one. And just got myself an additional collection for paperweight. And the reason why I got those again is because I want to upgrade my rotors to a 2-pieces one. That's in the near future. And I'll see you guys back. Installation. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.